I have always been a fan of wordless storytelling in games. Without using words, the devs can create narratives outside of the box in fun and interesting ways. Games like Wordless, Grease, and Naver are games I have long praised for their visual style and creative use of wordless storytelling. I am happy to say that Koira is added to that list of fantastic games. For starters, Koira looks very pretty. While not the most technical marvel, the game looks like a beautiful watercolor painting. It's really cool to see how the devs can push the Godot engine. It also helps that there are not a lot of areas, so they are able to polish the backgrounds and the foregrounds really well in this game. The character art is a really interesting choice as well, and while with all the characters being shadows, there was a lot of emphasis on the facial expressions, especially in the eyes. There's so much expression that you can really tell what the characters are saying if they had words. But who needs words when you have a simple musical melody? You see, one of the main gameplay mechanics is to collect musical notes to solve a puzzle, and then at the end of the solved puzzle, you get to hear the full melody. The melodies and the soundtrack in general of Koira are a sweet mix of pianos, strings, and some deep brass sounds for some enemies later on in the game. And my favorite is the main theme that you will hear throughout the game between Koira and the dog. You can never go wrong with a good companion story involving a dog, and Koira pulls on your heartstrings as soon as you free the dog from the beginning at the game. From then, you get to see the cutest interactions between them, from running around to playing fetch and defeating the dog apples. It is so heartwarming in some of these segments, and it's also worth mentioning that the dog has a light on its nose that clears out some of the dark fog in the game. The dog can also dig holes and create paths, and you can even play hide and seek and point out different shapes in the clouds. It's actually the most cutest, heartwarming, like just good boy feeling you've ever felt in your entire life. But there is a darker side of Koira that I did not expect. There are enemies in the game in the form of hunters with their guns and their hunting dogs. I don't think I fully understood the reason for this, but their goal is to constantly seek out you and your dog and the other animals found in the world, like a group of boars that you meet later on in the game. I mean, they are hunters, so I guess you don't really need much of an explanation beyond that. They're hunters, like to hunt, they like to collect animals. You happen to have an animal, there's animals around, so pretty much that is what their goal is in this game. In any case, there will be moments where you do have to hide from them in bushes, trees, barrels, etc., anything to keep you both safe. And it was a clever idea of having the mechanic be introduced with playing hide and seek, as you get used to the enemy patterns and finding the right timing in these stealth sections. Now, what really surprised me is that there is combat. So let's say that with a question mark, because there's not combat in the traditional sense. At some point, Koira gets the power to channel their rage and to scare off the attackers. Now, this makes their head flame up, and the melody they once had is a bunch of crashing noises. This happens several times throughout the game, and with the end of it being pretty insane. What's also interesting about that is that after you essentially Hulk out in these moments, the dog and the animals around you will be scared of you for a time, and you need to find a way to calm yourself down so you're not scaring your little companion anymore. Again, this was an unexpected mechanic that I really enjoyed, and it would have been easier to make it so you can activate this at any time, but having some of these moments scripted out and the fallout afterward kind of hint at some of the deeper messages of this game. Sometimes fighting fire with fire is not the best option, as it may affect more people than you think. I'm so glad that I got to play Koira, and it's kind of a shorter review, but it's kind of a shorter game. You can kind of get through this in about 4 to 6 hours, depending on how much you want to explore and how much you want to complete. But from the moment I played this during Steam Next Fest, I knew that I was gonna really enjoy the heck out of this game. And there's some unexpected moments like I talked about earlier, but I really enjoyed my experience overall. And the folks at Studio Tolima did a great job crafting this world and telling a timeless tale of friendship and overcoming obstacles as a team. I highly recommend Koira to anyone who's looking for a short but very good game. And if you're watching this review and if you played the game already, I would love to know your experience in the comments. Or if you're someone who's going to pick it up after watching this review, I know there's a ton of games that are right now. Expedition 33 is going crazy, but I highly recommend you play Koira if you want a little bit of a break from the high octane action games that you've been playing. Like I said, it's a very short and sweet game that pulls on your heartstrings and something to just find joy in and something to relax with. Not too relaxing because of these more rage segments, but overall I think it's a very fun and cozy and cute game. So yeah, I hope you check it out. And if you want to see more indie game reviews like these and my series on UFO 50 LPs like Mandragora, Whispers in the Witch Tree, or other things that I got going on like roguelike, there's indie game related content coming out all the time on the channel, and so I'm having a ton of fun with all of this content. And thank you so much for watching this review. Thank you so much for watching all the things that I have going on the channel. If you want to see more like that, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. My name is Chike, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.